Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in today's channel I'm honored to feature this individual over here who is going to introduce himself soon. So today the topic that I'm going to cover today is about banditry and tribal clashes in Kenya in a county called Baringo. So at first, when you hear Baringo County, my question is what comes out in your head? So as you continue to ponder about that, I would like to begin by introducing my guest.
Hello viewers, my name is African Jew, and banditry has been happening in Baringo ever since time immemorial for over 300 years. So now people have been killed, they lost their lives, they have been losing their lives, and some have been maimed, some have been displaced because of banditry.
Okay, so guys, so you have added the introduction of what you're going to cover. So we know that Baringo is a very vast county. It has many communities inhabiting it. They have very, very beautiful sceneries and land formations, and they have got also a lot of valuable resources within this Baringo County. And these resources and wealth are among the things that we are going to discuss and how they are impacting the continuing of this conflict that it has been eating the mainstream media over and over again, and the government has also tried to tame it with no success. So we are going to cover the origin. Our guest is Baringoan, and he's going to cover it from the start to the end. He is going to educate us and also try and recommend to the government most uh, what are the most measures that the government should adopt so that they can mitigate and ensure long-term peace is achieved in Baringo County, and we absolutely get to completely finish this thing of always people always crying, people's losing their wealth, their hard work and sweat. So let me not waste a lot of time talking about it. Let us hear from the host mouth himself. Okay, so maybe you can start by introducing.
Okay, as I have said earlier, cattle rustling pertains stealing of cattle. People from some another community would invade another community, and they would steal their cattle and even kill their people, maim them, even rape their women, and they might also displace them and occupy that land and and they would leave it and they will call it theirs. And this has resulted into many very much uh, operation among innocent people. Even children have never been spared. And it started many years back, as I've told you, over 300 years ago, even before colonialists arrived in Kenya. Banditry had been happening in Baringo County and other parts of North Rift. And most parts that sub-counties in Baringo that is hide most is Baringo South, Baringo North, and yes, and Baringo North, which has been not spared by banditry, and people have lost their livestock, they have lost their people and their land. And as it started, the bandits were using crude weapons like spears, but now they have gotten automatic rifles, even heavy guns, and they use them. Some even have more. Some that's been reported that bandits now possess guns which are more superior than those used by police. And we have had several times in the media that they use bandits have surrounded GSU camps, and they don't even fear KDF. But we thank our government, the government led by Dr. William Ruto. It has done much to eliminate these fights. As we give him more time, we see he has more. We have hope that he has potential to eliminate these fights.
Okay, so we have had this Baringoan actually telling us what this when this banditry actually began. He has told us that it started way before actually the Europeans, the British to be specific, when they came to Kenya. And this one is actually giving me a thought that this might have been a culture thing, or maybe this animosity has been going on way beyond because we know that the British came around 1800. So probably this tribal clash has been going on for, let's now, actually around 300 years, as you said. Yeah, true,
Yes.
true, around the 300 years. So to me, what comes out from what you've just told me, is it a cultural thing or is it something else?
Yes, people say it is a cultural affair, but it is not. It has become a business because the cows that they steal, the livestock, the reports we have received the reports that they are being sold somewhere, even in some, they are being sold. Sold for people, to bandits to get money to purchase more superior weapons. And also, this thing has it has changed such that the bandits would displace people and occupy the area they have occupied. They have displaced.
Viewers. So, as my guest has told us, that the cause of this banditry is a cultural belief that has been going on through the culture line or the community line of these communities. So the community of the Tugen community and the Pokot community on the other side, over a very long period of time, they have been instigating this cattle rustling community because it has been a thing among the youths that it is the only way of making wealth, because in the past a dowry was being paid by cattle. That's what we know. So I'd like him to expound much more on how that is the results of what we are seeing now and what has not been stopped and has now become like a disease. So can you carry on from there?
Yes, I have told you earlier, this banditry was kind of a cultural affair because a long time ago, before Kenya got independence, these bandits were using crude weapons like clubs and spears. Also, the Tukan community were possessing arrows, and they would shoot their enemies at far. And when they attack, they would follow, and they would retaliate by following them and recovering their livestock. At that time, they were even taking maidens or girls. They would take them together with cows. But right now, they kill even girls. It has now become a business and a sort of territory expansion. No, the bandits want to occupy as much territory as they want. They want to displace more people and occupy that area and call it theirs. And and this game has changed into a business. Now the livestock are being transported using lorries or cars, and it is very hard even people to track and recover their livestock because they are being sold away. But now I've told you that the government of Dr. William Ruto is working very hard to eliminate these fights. And even Tuken seems to be law abiding. They have embraced the education and they have left the bad culture like FKM and stealing of cattle, and they have embraced the education. They don't want to retaliate. They want the government, even the police, to intervene, and when their livestock are being stolen or the people have been attacked, they would call the police. They would like the police to do the job, to do their mandate to protecting the civilians. But this thing is very hard to contain. Until all bandits are being are being eliminated, and even funders of these files and where they acquire the areas where they acquire weapons are being blocked so that the weapons cannot get into wrong hands.
Don't get it twisted. All we have the leaders, the community leaders from the Pokot community, they are distancing themselves from this banditry. They are saying the perpetrators of these activities are not actually, we cannot actually cannot punish the whole community by calling them out and saying the Pokots are bad. And it's not the Pokot people who are bad, it's actually some few community offenders who are now dubbing as bandits, are the one doing these bad things, are now dubbing bad name or resulting bad name to these now the community members. So we have leaders who have been urging the members of the community to be law abiding,
to try as much as possible to report these offenders to the government so that they can get punished, and as well we can recover these kettles. But now these aims which the government wants to achieve has become very difficult because the Tugen community, who are the ones who are suffering, as well as other government leaders, tend to believe that these Pokot community members are supporting or sympathizers of these bandits, and that's why now the banditry is still going on. That's what it has been investigated, and it's still going on, because even when the chiefs go out and hold meetings and they try and scout for these perpetrators, it's not very easy to actually get them. And another thing is that these bandits are believed to use a tactic called blackmail. If you try and reveal them that this is an offender, is a bandit, is one of the bandits, you are as well going to be uprooted from the community and of course get killed. So this banditry, it has been preserved, and so it's not something that it can be easily be shed out within the community, the Pokot community. So we need an outside energy, or an energy from an external member to come now and expel these bandit members by exerting a lot of undue force. That is, now we have to go out and search for these bandits and actually kill them, or actually go to these areas which are prone of these banditry attacks. Now we can put now our soldiers there. That's actually what is going on. But now Kenyans are failing in what we do called surveillance, because now even the police and the KDF, the Kenya Defense Forces officers, they are being caught unprepared, and now they get shot at, and now you see the injuries and a lot of unexpected deaths that occur. So I'll give back my guest to actually continue. I'm just telling him so that he can know how he can explain and pick from there. Thank you.
Yes, I cannot term all a community as bandits. There are many good people living in banditry strongholds who are fighting. For example, in Pokot, there are very good people, Pokot people. They love peace and they love other people. But always, in every community, there is a criminal. And these criminals are the ones who are carrying out banditry acts. And they should not hide in a community and spoil all the reputation of a community. A criminal is a criminal, and he or she should face the law without bias. And also, I have told you earlier that not only in Baringo, but there are other counties who are facing atrocities of banditry. Some of these counties are Samburu, Laikipia, and Elgeyo Marakwet, and they have suffered many times. Even Pokot themselves, they suffer because another community, for example, would invade them, and they would also kill them, and they would cry. So, for me, surely speaking, I would appeal to our government to do what I call absolute disarmament in banditry strongholds, in all banditry strongholds, so that people might get peace and have development. And we would like to have a place to live in harmony without even hearing a single gunshot fired by a bandit.
Okay guys, so you have heard what you have said. Another thing that I would like to add, you see, some time back we had these bandits taking over our old school. The students or the pupils and the teachers were chased away, so the classrooms and all that educational infrastructure was left behind. So these bandits, they occupied with their families and other gang members or bandit members, they occupied these classes, and they took over, and they were using those rooms for their own personal endeavors. So the education was not going on, so the children were now back with their families, and nothing good was going on. And this one is actually hampering the plan of the government which is trying to eliminate this bad culture by introducing now education. And also what the government has failed is also providing employment for the people from these banditry prone areas. You see, actually the reason why these bandits are actually causing all these attacks, sometimes you come to realize also these bandits, they have brothers, they have sisters who actually went to school. A lot of kettles were sold for these actual individuals to go to school, and they came back home. They never got jobs. So what the community members are learning is that education is not a wonderful investment. It's actually great to just have your kettles. They actually count the kettles which have been sold so they can service the fees for these individuals. There's a very huge loss, a disaster. So they have result to actually now thinking now that the best way of making wealth is by either maintaining the wealth that you have, so that they can, for example, the kettles can give birth to other kettles, and now you have a huge herd of kettles. Another one is by now stealing the kettles of your enemy or your neighbor, so that you can amass more cattle on your side. So I think what the government should continue, because I think government has actually relaxed on this. It is not doing it as hard as before. The government should ensure that people from these banditry prone regions are actually get employed in government or in private sector. The government should scout these individuals from these regions, and they should ensure that these individuals actually get jobs, so that it will be an encouragement to community members, and they will see that education is a good investment. You can see how these individuals have done to the society. We should stop this cattle rustling. It's not good in the long run. That's some of the things I think the government should focus on. It will bring a permanent solution in the long run. When other community members seeing what is being achieved, they are going also to desist from this bad act. So I think you should add something.
Another thing which I would like the government to do is to enroll more national police reserves called NBR. These people actually know that they right, and they know where the shoes is pinching most. NBR are recruited from the community where bandits attack always, and they are more viable. They could assist the police, and they are even more of a resource than even police themselves, because they are around and they know that they reign. They know even the bandits by their names, and they are even able to safeguard their areas from bandits.
Okay, another thing that I'd like to add is the government should actually scale its surveillance strategy. The government should invest in surveillance, in maybe drones, or just a manner of detecting when the threat is more likely to occur. This one is actually going to prevent these all of a sudden attacks, which is resulting a lot of casualties. We are losing our police officers, we are losing our KDF officers, and these are actually very invaluable individuals that we need. We still need. This country is still young, and we still have a lot to learn. We don't want to be losing people anyhowly in quests which are not actually worth it. No, losing an individual because of banditry is not actually something you can conceive and say it was worth it. It is bringing something great to this country. It is actually terrible. So we need to actually be tackling this banditry while still having these officers with us, maintaining that experience and sharing it to maybe us and maybe those people who are coming next. Because that is good. Because we are having a security problem doesn't mean that our life needs to be lost to have now the security that we desire. So do you have another thing, or should we close this chapter?
Just close.
Okay guys, so I think that is all for now. Make sure you go down to the comment section, tell us what you think. Also make sure you subscribe to this channel, and as well give us a thumbs up, and also tell us which topic you'd like us to cover next. That's it. Bye bye.